How's it going, listeners? Welcome back to CuboldCast. In this episode, we will be going over the fourth episode. What is it? Installment of the anthology series, The Devil in Me.
Amen.
And I personally think it was the best one.
The intro was kind of
it's
little
whatever.
weird, but whatever.
I say it's the best anthology game, but I still like the one we played before better. Only because it's longer, and I really cared about the characters. Like the character development was top tier.
I don't know. It's my favorite of the what if they've done. I didn't play Until Dawn. That's the only one I haven't played
Dawn
yet.
Is pretty
and I've heard
to
people
top,
say that Until Dawn is their best one. So I'm not 100% sure.
I really wish they. I hope they port it over to computer eventually.
Well, I mean, what is it? 3 games in the past month have been ported over.
Yeah.
But Uncharted, Sackboy, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man. All 3 of those games have been ported over.
The one element that you'll miss if you do play it that you can't really avoid is that you know what the game's about. You know what I mean? Like, you know that it's about
Wendigos.
Yeah, Wendigos. Like, originally when I bought it, there wasn't much information out on it, or at least I didn't see anything. So I was playing it and I thought it was a killer game.
And it was the first game kind of like that.
That was their first game, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But like, I don't think there's been any other games that have been similar to that previously.
The Quarry is the most similar, but people were mad because it wasn't exactly the same.
Well, technically 3 anthology games came before it though. But like, obviously Until Dawn was the first one they did.
People were actually quite upset about the Quarry, and I was reading some stuff yesterday. They were very mid about the game, The Devil in Me coming up, because they were disappointed with the Quarry.
Why were they disappointed?
I thought it was the best thing they've done so far that I've played.
Yeah. They were putting Until
Devil
Dawn.
in Me blew me away.
They made Until Dawn like the peak, and they think nothing can beat it. And if it doesn't beat it, then it's not good.
But that makes no sense. They're different experiences, different horror scenarios.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played it, so I can't really tell the differences.
Yeah.
Maybe people didn't like the Quarry just because it was very similar to Until Dawn. I've heard it was like kind of the same in a way.
Well, the biggest gripe people had was the ending. They thought it was too abrupt, which I could understand that. But you can't give the whole game a bad review just because the ending's not good. The Quarry.
The game is long, it's like, it was abrupt, but it
I'm trying to think of the ending.
Ended everything. Like either everybody dies
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Very, very abrupt.
Yeah, because you kind of just did the thing and then it was like done.
But you can't give the whole game a bad review just because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one definitely scariest, most like tense one so far.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of them were creepy.
The first one was about a ship that a group of people go to. It was, supposedly it was haunted.
Yeah.
The second one was about, what was it?
That was the
Witch Trials
Salem
Woods.
Witch Trials.
The Salem Witch Trials Woods. And you get lost in the woods. Then it's kind of obvious what happens. And then the third one is House of Ashes, which was...
That was the Iraqi desert.
Alien?
I thought it was vampires.
They were demons or something.
No, they were... Do you remember? So they were vampires, but they were not from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That
was a cool game.
Because it did open up the story a lot.
That,
It was surprising.
It reminded us a lot of Amnesia Rebirth.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of games recently.
That one was pretty good. Yeah. I don't think I liked the characters in that one, though. All that much.
The main lady was annoying. I didn't like her.
Yeah, then there was that
big-eyed lady or whatever.
The Candace lady?
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of the characters in that one.
So some of the characters overlap because it's an anthology. And in a lot of anthology series, they reuse the same actors, but they just give them a different role in the story. So it's funny to see the characters in between. Like in the start of this game, the rich dude who invites the team to this private island was the wimpy kid from the previous game.
But he was also the jock from the...
wasn't he the jock? He was the soldier guy from House of Ashes.
Yeah. It's just weird. I think he played the geek character the best.
Yeah. Well, that's the first role we saw him in, so we were like, he's permanently the geek.
I don't think it was his voice. His voice was very high-pitched in this one. It was him, but I think somebody else did the voiceover for him.
It did not sound like him from the other games.
Yeah, you might be right.
But, I mean, I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah.
We actually we recorded a podcast. Was it last week? Mm-hmm. But one of the tracks wasn't recorded, so we're not sure what we're gonna do with that.
Yeah, it was on Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
So we might do another one,
including Warzone and DMZ.
Because we did the podcast before Warzone and DMZ were released, so we might just do one all-inclusive podcast later on.
Yeah. And off camera, we have Nick with us. He doesn't want to talk, but that's not recorded.
You're not being recorded.
It's not being recorded, but he's helping us today.
Yeah, Ben didn't want to show up because he's on Thanksgiving break and he's busy with his new not new, but his VR stuff.
Is he still playing Bone Lab?
Probably. Yeah. He's addicted to that game.
The game looks cool.
I don't blame him though.
It does look
you're
fun.
At school. Oh no, I mean like just having a break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any break we had, we would play video games the whole time.
Yes.
I think this podcast should be going out next week, so after Thanksgiving holidays.
Yes.
So we just want to wish you, I guess, a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah, for us.
Tomorrow for us. So.
Yeah, it's definitely
I can't wait.
One of my
for
favorite. Yeah, this is one of my favorite times of the year.
Yes. It's pre-Thanksgiving, but we still have Christmas decorations up.
Oh yeah, we just put these up today.
Yeah.
Just because.
I know last year we did the present thing. I might still come in here sometime and do it. Actually, Chug set up the decorations today.
Mm-hmm.
So
I tried to make the lights as kind of like equal as possible, but I don't know. I couldn't do it fully.
Yeah.
It's whatever though.
No, it looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I might just add like a little present wrapping just because we did that last year.
That was cool.
Yeah,
we made the sound panels like big presents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the perfect time of year.
Yes.
About a year ago at this time, we moved into the studio.
Was it really?
Yeah. Remember? Don't you remember? We got this other room actually.
That was end of last year.
I thought we just had this one.
Actually,
just had this one.
The end of the year, we decided to get the second room.
That was empty.
Oh my goodness! So we still had just this one room.
We recorded in here for a while.
Wow, I know because I remember Ricky was there.
Oh yeah,
like behind, and there's not much room past what you can see on the podcast.
Yeah,
there's a couple feet, but
yeah.
I mean, if someone sits there, they'll probably be on camera.
We had a table. We had the couch there.
Yeah. Well, we had the 3 tables. Remember, we had the 3. We each had one.
That's right.
And then Ricky had I think the desk that we have in there was over here.
Is it weird? I feel like that was like longer ago than it actually was.
Yeah.
Time has been going kind of slow, I guess. Well,
it's weird. Like it goes by fast when you're really busy, but then like sometimes when you stop and realize like, oh, last year was around this time, it feels like it was like a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we've had these 2 rooms for a long time. I'm wiggling the tree.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why is it shaking? But
yeah, the tree's voice activated or
audio
activated.
A little delayed.
Yeah, there we go. But on the casual talk, we have Valheim Mistlands. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
what?
I didn't watch the trailer.
It looks amazing. I don't know if we're going to pull the trailer up, unless Nick wants to.
I don't know.
Nick doesn't know how to work OBS.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. You don't have to do it.
So is this a DLC or what?
It's a new biome they're adding.
Oh.
And apparently it's going to add a ton of new enemies, magic into the game. So there's going to be like new magic spells and magic staves you can get. So there's going to be more to the combat.
New bosses, new enemies.
Mm-hmm. It looks amazing.
What's cool about it is that the previous worlds were generated with this big ring of just wilderness around it. So what they're doing is with this update, old worlds will have Mistlands added to it. So you don't have to get rid of your old worlds.
Oh, that's cool.
Like in the previous one, your server you had, I actually made a base in the Mistlands, but it's kind of a placeholder. It's kind of just empty. No daylight ever shines there. So like it's always night there. So you're always losing a lot of energy. So it's kind of just like a depressing, non-existent plane. But once they update it, that'll be replaced.
I might update the server and play
Hopefully
through the Mistlands
my house doesn't like get a giant tree through the middle of it or something.
Well, when you're not logged on, enemies don't spawn in that area.
Well, no, what I'm referring to is my base. Like whatever spawns over my base, because it's literally sitting in the Mistlands. I don't know what's gonna happen to it.
Maybe it spawns areas where there's no player involvement. Like if you have a place a building down, there's a certain radius where things won't spawn.
I hope so.
That'd be nice.
Valheim's kind of like a weird situation. Like I know when it first came out, we played it for hours. But once we got to the limit of what it had, I got off, and I don't think I ever got back into it.
But the thing is, you and I never got to the limit.
Many bosses.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I defeated all the bosses by myself because everybody just stopped playing it.
I don't know what it was like. It was so
where you
addicting.
started so many times.
Yeah.
We would go to someone else's world and start from scratch, and we just build a nice house, and then we'd start a new world.
Yeah, we never like got attached to like a certain world and like continue to beat all the bosses.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
But this server we were playing on, maybe there were like 5 or 6 people playing with us.
It was ridiculous trying to take that slime boss down or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. We had Keenan, Jaden, Ben, you, me. Who else is on there? Nathaniel?
I don't think he joined.
Huh.
If he did, it was only for like a day.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty cool setup we had going on. We had this lagoon, and a bunch of people built houses around it, and you could sail your boat out into the open ocean like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It was actually so cool. We still have it.
Yeah, I just have to restart
open.
the server, and we can could all play through Mistlands.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were waiting for that for a while.
Yeah.
What's this about Witcher 3 update?
Apparently on December 16th, they just released a trailer today too. But I've seen it for a while. They've been talking about it since like the beginning of this year. Basically, it's like they're updating the graphics and the textures and everything. It's going to look even better. And they're adding ray tracing. They're adding apparently they're adding new content. Apparently they're adding stuff from the Netflix series.
Really?
Speaking of which, I mean, I've never seen the series, but I heard they're replacing that main actor.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he's okay. I don't know if I should say this. Whatever. It's been weeks, okay? He's Superman again or whatever. Because you know how they fired him?
I didn't know they fired him.
Wait, why should you not say it?
Well, it has to do with the Shazam, or not Shazam. What's the Rock movie?
Oh, Black Adam.
Black Adam.
It's kind of sad how I describe the movie as the Rock movie rather than Black Adam.
Yeah. I never seen it.
Yeah, so that was the movie that kind of like made it clear that he was coming back. So he doesn't have time for the show now. So now they're putting that guy. Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah, it's one of the Hemsworth brothers.
Yeah. Well, it's not Chris. It's got to be Liam. Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
They also have another brother. I forget his name. He's not as well known though.
Is he?
He's a Hemsworth.
I remember
Liam.
Wasn't Liam in? What was he in? Like Maze Runner?
Yeah, it was one of those movies.
Wait,
Maze Runner or Hunger Games?
Not Liam. No, that's Hunger Games. Liam Hemsworth was in Hunger Games. He was the whatever that guy's name is. The love interests. One of the love interests.
Oh, really?
There was the blonde guy, then there was the Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. I haven't seen those movies in years.
It's been a while. They're actually putting out another one next year.
Huh.
I heard about that. Yeah. I thought it was a show. I thought it was a show, not a movie.
I don't know. I'm not sure actually.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, they're replacing him. I don't know what people are thinking about it. I don't follow the show at all.
I've seen, at least on social media, I've seen a lot of people they're just going to drop the show apparently.
From what I heard, people didn't like it much anyway. I'm pretty sure the producer doesn't like the games. And so he's like didn't want to include it from the games.
So is it solely based off the books?
But the weird part is the person who wrote the book said that's the best incarnation of it.
What, the games?
No, the show.
Oh.
He said that's the most accurate thing. But the people who played the games didn't like the show.
I know Henry Cavill loves to game.
Oh, does he?
He's a gamer. He built his own PC.
Doesn't he play he plays World of Warcraft?
I think so, yeah.
Still?
I don't know, he might, but I know he played the Witcher games too.
The game always surprises me when I hear people play it.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
It just looks so old.
Yeah.
That's
It really
the
does.
thing. It's like, it's just one of those games that kind of looks...
That's not my type of game.
I feel like we would have played it.
Years ago,
We would have played it years ago, like when we were younger, because we loved RPG type of stuff.
Yeah.
But we
I think
never did.
It just seems like so much work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to spend this many hours grinding and to get to the point where I can actually enjoy the game.
It's partially why we stopped playing New World.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Is that
We had a
still
lot of
going
fun with
strong?
New World is huge now because
Really?
they added a new update called Brimstone Sands. Basically, they added 3 new areas to the game.
So New World is Amazon's game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was regarded as a flop when it came out, But a lot of people...
We literally pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
We played it.
A lot of people liked it, including us. We loved it.
It was amazing.
We stopped playing because
we
got
scared.
new GPUs and we were afraid that it would crash them.
It was bricking 3090s?
90s, I think it was. Yeah.
A couple 3080s too, but
only
only
certain companies.
only EVGA ones. And maybe a
no,
couple
it was
Asus.
I think. It was Asus and Gigabyte that the 3080s were bricking. The 3090s were the EVGA ones.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That is.
Imagine that. How does that even happen? Like a code breaks a GPU?
It was a combination of poor soldering and bad code. So the game is pretty badly coded. It lets the frame rate kind of run rampant all over the place with nothing keeping it in check.
Mr. Bezos sat down on the keyboard and coded the game himself.
He's getting pretty thick now. Like he's big.
Is he?
He's huge. He's
I know he works out, but
jacked.
He's becoming a real life villain. Like, he's like bald, hot, and like super jacked.
I saw a video where some guy walked up to him and he had his bodyguard near him, and the bodyguard had his hand in his coat, but it was actually a fake arm because the bodyguard had his hand on the gun.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, under the trench coat he was wearing, ready to shoot if he tried to attack him. But he was talking to him, and it was just this weird interaction.
The other thing is that he's developed. This is so weird, like so off topic, but he's developed like an evil laugh. If you watch old interviews of him, he like laughs like a normal person, but now he's like, like he like laughs like slow and paced.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Funny. It's like he's training.
Apparently, he went to space.
Yeah. He did go to space with William Shatner.
Yeah,
I saw a video of after they landed. William Shatner was talking about like, oh, this experience has changed my life profoundly. But meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is like, takes champagne and he's like spraying it on random people all around and totally ignoring him.
Oh my.
He didn't care what he had to say.
Do you have new glasses?
Yeah, these are the ones I told you I got from Zenny.
Oh.
But the wire is really thin. So like when I wear them with headphones, it kind of hurts.
Oh,
so I usually swap them with my other glasses, but I forgot those today. So it was uncomfortable. I'm getting used to wearing them normally though.
Oh, yeah, we talked about New World. Yeah. That's another game that I probably wouldn't get into just because I have to like invest so much time into it.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, like, I think out of any MMO that you play, New World is probably the most fun. So if you do ever get into any MMO like that, maybe the Dune one might actually take that place when that comes out.
Oh,
but
wow.
I think New World is probably at least my favorite MMO out there. Like if I had to choose to play any of them, I would play New World.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed MMOs just because of the relaxing feeling, but it's one of those things where there's no end in sight. Usually, if there is an end, it's hundreds of hours in.
Well, once you get max level, that people say that's when the game begins. So
I don't understand that though. A lot of people are restarting.
Well, yeah, because of the new starting system that's better for new players. They fully revamped. No, on all the servers.
No, there's certain servers called fresh start servers.
Well, yeah, that's when everybody starts over. But as of right now, I think the starting experience for New World is actually better. So
wasn't there like a bottleneck where the majority of people would be in like one clan?
No, it was a queue.
Oh, it was queue?
The queue system where hundreds of people were trying to log on at once.
Into a specific server.
It would take like 45 minutes to get on sometimes.
No, I mean like, because wasn't there like
there's
factions?
There's 3 factions, and sometimes one of them gets too overpowered.
Was it color? Like color, the yellow one was
green,
like the
yellow, and purple.
On our server, it was purple.
We were on purple, and we were literally destroying everybody else.
Yeah.
So
they should cap that or something.
They should, but
that'd be kind of annoying though. Like you join and you want to join purple, but then it doesn't let you because there's too many people.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd remedy that.
I'm not sure.
Well, most people didn't take place to like actually go to war.
I never did any wars.
I never did any wars, so it's like we didn't really actually give anything to the faction.
Yeah.
I was always interested in the market portion because you'd get materials and go sell it on the little stock market type thing.
The PvP stuff was kind of fun when we were together.
The market was so broken.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone tried to undercut each other. Like you had the people that would play for hundreds of hours and they just spam this material in there for like the lowest price possible to undercut everybody. And then everyone followed suit until the prices are like nothing.
Wow.
So it's so
it would break the system. Yeah,
everything's worthless now.
pretty much.
Except for like the music pages.
Well, if you go back into the game now, what was expensive when we first played it is literally like a cent.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You have to sell an awful lot to make any
real
profit.
life. The Chinese made stuff is just cheaper than everything else.
Pretty much. So everyone just buys that instead.
Yeah.
But we had fun with the game.
Yeah.
We just haven't had time to get back into it.
It's on sale now for like $20.
Some people got it for free because they were library sharing from us. Amazon said, "Oh, you've been library sharing. We'll just give you a free key because we're disabling library sharing."
You should have. You should have been on my library or Jay's library when.
I mean, I don't know if I would have played it, but I guess it would have been nice just to have it for free.
We could have talked about it on a podcast or something.
Yeah, it's true. You guys want to get into the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Devil in Me.
So for the people who don't know what Dark Pictures is, it's a choice-based game where you play as multiple characters, and the goal is generally to make every character survive the experience, and also just to interact with them as you go along. Like, you can have better relationships with certain characters, or it could just be a total jerk to people and make them hate you. Or sometimes that can actually play into the final destination
get you killed
of the game.
or
yeah. But this one was probably one of our favorite ones they've come out with so far.
Definitely, yeah.
I think we mentioned that at the beginning. Just because of the setting and the theme.
Yeah.
Which serial killers are already a pretty interesting topic to begin with.
Yes.
There's a couple of the older Dark Pictures games where they would pull the thing where it's like, oh, it's all in their heads. And we've talked about that in the past. We're not going to spoil any of that.
Well,
But
it's slowly getting to the, like, progressively better, though. Like, the first one was obviously, like... I mean, we don't want to spoil it just because of... if you haven't played it yet. Man of Medan, yeah.
I like that one better than Little Hope, which we played Little Hope first. That's actually the second game in the series.
Why did we play Little Hope first?
We didn't know.
Because we didn't know that they like went in order.
Well, they don't.
Well, they don't,
Not
but
necessarily, but yeah, I know what you mean.
We didn't play as they came out yearly.
But I do agree. They have gotten... It seems like the development team is learning. Like, it's just gotten so much better. Like, remember in Little Hope, well, there was like the jump scares that were just obnoxious. I forget what other one there was, but there was the quick time events that were just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Man of Medan?
It might have been Man of Medan, where you had like no time to react, or I think the heartbeat one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a heartbeat sequence where it literally went on for so long, and it was like super
and
hard
it changed.
to time.
The biggest issue was... All right, so I'll back up a little bit. There's this type of gameplay mechanic where you're hiding from a monster or a killer, and you have to... kind of Geometry Dash style, match the button to the correct timing, or like almost like a Guitar Hero. As it comes down the line, you got to press it when it hits the right timing. Usually you press A, but at one point they swapped it to Y without telling you they were going to do this, and it got a character killed for us.
Yeah.
At least in this game, it tells you, but then it never actually showed that happen.
It never did it for me.
But you said the other day that it was probably the harder difficulty.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the lethal difficulty or whatever it is. That would make more sense.
The other thing that they've learned is that previously, you miss one. I guess in some cases it depends on the scenario, but in some cases this still is the case. But you miss one quick time event and you'll die, or you'll get that character to die.
It depends on the quick time event.
Yeah, it depends on the scenario. But now they give you a little bit more leeway. Like you miss one, you can make it up in the next one or something.
I remember watching a video failing every quick time event in Until Dawn. And most of the quick time events didn't get someone killed. Half of them they'd just be running through the forest and they'd hit their head on a branch or something, but it wouldn't actually kill the character. So there are certain interactions. Like I saw someone posted on Reddit, like the things that you have to do in order to finish the game. It was actually a very short list of like either two characters can survive or like these characters have to die before this character dies. And it wasn't very long at all. It kind of made it seem simpler than it was.
There are probably like specific anchor points where those are like the big decisions on what happens. Although there are multiple variations of endings, relationship statuses.
You had a character die that didn't really affect the ending because we got the same ending, but you had one character missing.
Yeah, which affected gameplay.
There's technically two endings for this game. And
we'll talk about it later.
Well, I mean, it boils down to good and bad.
Yeah.
Or I guess there sometimes are that like middle space where it's like just unsatisfactory.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but there's like you either get this ending or you get this ending.
Yeah.
And this ending could have like 10 to 15 different variations. Mm-hmm. And this one is like the bad ending. Like there's only like 1 or 2 variations of that.
Yeah.
But we'll go over more of that in the spoiler section.
When did you finish the game? Was it last night?
No, I finished it today.
Oh, okay.
A couple hours ago, yeah.
I don't think you got mad at this game like we have with others.
No.
Like last minute playing it.
I know I said this at the start. This is my favorite anthology series games, but from the developers, The Quarry is still my favorite because I actually went back and played the ending again. Like I went through tediously how to do that whole chapter again just so I can get a better ending because I cared about the characters so much.
There was one sequence that I replayed because I accidentally did something I didn't want to do, although I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And I guess it's a spoiler we'll talk about later.
Well, let's start with the premise of the game. So the game is much more grounded than the previous games. The inspiration from the game is from the American serial killer H.H. Holmes. That's actually the inspiration for the actual killer in this game. Essentially, this film crew that are doing a documentary. I know someone
Documentary.
Someone got on me for saying it the way I did.
Documentary.
Documentary.
That's what I usually say.
I say documentary, but
whatever. So this film crew of 5 or 6 people.
5 people.
5 are filming a documentary on H.H. Holmes.
Which, first of all, why 5? Why is it always 5?
I don't know. Maybe it's a part of the co-op system that they have.
Maybe. But even in the story, it's like
they say 5 several times.
5 people. It's always 5.
That's the design of the hotel, though.
Yeah, but there's more than 5 rooms, though.
Yeah, but it was designed. I don't know if the dude could have handled more than 5.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay.
So he built it for 5 specifically.
Yeah. So their documentary is failing. Basically, they're not happy with it, and then they get a mysterious call from a guy named Dumet. He offers to take them to his true recreation of H.H. Holmes. What do they call it? The murder hotel?
Murder castle, murder hotel.
Yeah, on a remote island. So they go there, and obviously it turns bad. And he's literally being H.H. Holmes with traps everywhere. I mean, it's like Saw level stuff.
A common gripe we have with these games is that the characters are so stupid to get into this situation.
Yeah.
The guy takes their phones away in the van or
in the limo. They're all like, okay, and they give their phone away.
Yeah, at that point I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Like why wouldn't you let us have phones?
Yeah.
Because if he's concerned about recording, why are they bringing all this camera equipment into this place to begin with?
Mm-hmm. That's always been kind of that's a horror tripe. Like it's always like this. You have to like have you have to throw away a little bit of believability in order to kind of like give into the story.
I don't know if they could have called anybody though.
Yeah, I think
if they did have their phones, so it's like
they could have simply rewrote it as they get there, they have their phones, but they have no service.
Yeah,
that would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Yeah, because they're literally on an island.
Somehow their phones get stolen.
Yeah,
without explanation.
Or they left their phones in their bag, and maybe one of them has their phone, and he tries to call or something, and nothing happens.
It could have been an extra gameplay choice or something.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, there's no way I would have given up my phone in a situation like that. Yeah. Especially when they couldn't see who the driver was anyway.
And you don't know where the phones are going either.
I think the driver was the killer.
It's
he still has the white gloves. You remember that?
Wait a second. I don't know. I think I just figured something out. You mentioned that, but we'll talk about it later.
I know what you're talking about. The groundskeeper?
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about in particular.
Huh.
I don't know. I think the groundskeeper. Yeah, I know. Man, this game has a lot of things we want to talk about. That's
I do want to be careful though, because like it is such a unique experience. I don't want to. If anyone's planning on playing it, like I don't want to say too much.
That is true. It's definitely one of those games you don't want to know anything going in.
The game is actually getting subpar reviews because of a lot of bugs. Apparently, I haven't noticed many. I may have had like 2.
I don't think I had 1.
I played it on the Steam Deck. You guys played it on your computers.
How was it on the Steam Deck?
It was really fun on the Steam Deck. I had my earbuds in while it was like playing it in bed, And every once in a while, I mentioned it to you before, but every once in a while it would drop to maybe below 30 whenever I flicked. There was a lot of lighting because the lighting, I did turn the graphics like as probably as low as possible. But
Use FSR?
No, I didn't.
That's so crazy. That's impressive.
But I played the entire game pretty much at like almost a steady 50 to 60 FPS, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
But it was really fun on the deck, especially the microphone part.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
This game had probably one of the best sequences in the whole series, just in terms of creativity. I don't want to spoil it because it was just too good. You want to experience it for yourself. But I was playing it at like 1 a.m. Everyone had gotten off the chat. It was dark in my room, and I'm just sitting there like going through this thing, and there's things in my headphones that are like creeping me out. It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
They definitely upped the
it's
eerie
the most
factor.
It's the most horror game out of all of them.
Without being jump scary. I know there were a couple of jump scares. A few of them got me, but it wasn't like obnoxious. Like they actually, it almost seemed like they kind of, I don't want to be rude, but they kind of grew up in terms of how they approached horror.
Yeah.
Like remember in Man of Medan or more Little Hope, but it was like, it was immature. Like
it was just constant, like poof.
Yeah, like
they
super
would show
loud noise.
The camera would pan to the woods, and a loud noise would happen, and nothing else would happen.
Yeah, nothing else was there. It's like
I remember the scariest part of Little Hope. You guys might remember this too, but there was this. They were in the woods, and the guy was standing there, and then this dude just walked really quickly towards. And there was no noise. You just saw this guy just walk really quickly with like a knife or something closer towards the character. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
It actually scared me.
At least for me, jump scares alert me that there's something scary.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when there's no noise, the thing that's supposed to be scary will scare me more because I didn't know that there's something scary supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, it's a much more mature approach because there'll be periods of time where you're roaming, like the hotel, and you don't know this, but nothing's going to happen, but you don't know it. So, like, you start thinking in your head, like, what's behind me, or is there something going to be around the corner, and it's never there, so it's like they never give you relief. And that's, like, the best part is, like, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen next.
Extremely tense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely
seriously.
tense. Like, you don't get a break.
They give you the most contrasted decisions. Like it's literally like do this or do this, and it's like what I literally had to pause the game so many times and just like ask Jaden for help or someone for like an answer.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to decide myself.
Yeah,
It was
constantly
so-
you were just like, is this a life or death situation?
I had to
Please,
think
just
through
tell me
it.
now, please.
I was hoping so badly that you were going to make a certain decision towards the beginning. The only character that died for you. I was hoping so badly that you would go for it, but we weren't going to tell him the right one.
Yeah. I paused it and I had to think through it. I was like, I don't know.
Well, okay, I didn't
That
realize
sucks.
that
That's
it
the
gave
one.
you 2 choices or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, he has another chance. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, you have to do it twice. I'm like,
That sucked. That's the one thing that kind of upset me is like usually I like to keep everyone alive, but
Well, generally, there is a way that's not obvious, but you can kind of decipher it if you think about it logically. Like if the character says, there's a response that says the confident response or the desperate response, you'll obviously want to take the confident one. Like you don't want to do the desperate one. That just gets people
there's one
killed.
case where you don't do that, like the assertive one with the dog.
yes.
Yeah.
That's where you don't want to do the.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I spoiled it. But
No, you didn't.
There's a
Yeah,
dog.
I was
in
gonna
it. There's a
remember
dog
that.
in the
Yeah.
game. Yes.
So yeah, but most of the time, yeah, it's kind of like obvious. Plus, the other thing, if you're gonna play this game, you remember character traits and things that characters say, because that'll play a big part in making your decisions later on. Like remember,
Like what this character's background is.
yeah, and what their tendencies are.
Also, explore as much as you possibly can, because you could miss stuff. Like there were like certain things that you can actually miss that are kind of important to the story.
Yeah.
That there were people that missed it, like, but then that are useful later on, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the story's very intriguing, very interesting. And it actually did encourage me to read notes and, pick up items and stuff like that.
I read pretty much every note I found, and that's kind of rare for me in games.
Yeah, I don't even think I did that with the Quarry. Probably because it was like 10 hours long instead of 5.
I feel like the reason is because all the notes are important. Like, nothing. We want to know what's happening. We want to know all the details, and it actually that makes us want to read everything.
Yeah, I think the Quarry is kind of easy to figure out. This one, even now, I'm still questioning some things. So
I actually told Chug a pretty good summary of what I thought was happening. I was pretty accurate with that, right?
Oh yeah, very accurate.
Like way before I knew certain details, just based off of what had happened prior. But even at the end of the game, I'm still not sure of some things.
They don't explain everything fully,
which is kind of good.
Yeah, it's vague.
Leaves it up to interpretation.
We were discussing theories right before the podcast, and we still aren't settled on one specific thing.
Yeah, I'm still kind of curious. I kind of do hope there's some sort of, I don't know, would that ruin if there was like some sort of resolution, or if they came out with like an official,
I don't think
this is
so.
the answer?
No.
See, it's not like a mythological creature. It's a serial killer.
I mean, there's I don't know. I want to say there's like a slight aspect of like supernatural to it. Do you know what I mean?
Kind of.
That one portion of it.
And it's not really explained. It could be just the fact that it's an anthology game, and that's kind of what they do, or it could be on purpose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, the upcoming ones after, that's not going to be, it's not going to have to do with anything with the previous one.
That's
season 2.
I didn't realize it, but the serial killer that they talk about, that they have audio logs for, that was shown in a previous game.
Well,
I think it was
no.
House of Ashes.
What I'm saying is the upcoming season 2 of the anthology games are going to be less grounded. It's going to be very sci-fi, futuristic.
But they will be connected. I guarantee it.
They're in the same universe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have seen a lot of supernatural stuff. Like with the House of Ashes it wasn't too grounded.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you said House of Ashes. That game is very obvious that there's supernatural stuff going on. And so it makes sense that they're going to be in space in the next one.
I mean, there's an aspect of it that's like as grounded as you can be with that type of thing. You know how like everything was like underground, like over years and centuries, like something long ago happened down there.
Yeah.
I kind of like how they like had a backstory for it.
Yeah.
But who knows what they'll do with the space themed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the trailer for that, or the premonition.
Oh, you didn't?
I did see
Oh, wait, no, there's no premonition.
I didn't see premonition.
There is a premonition for it.
I did see a premonition. Yeah, I did see one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually weird.
Well, because
people floating in space.
Every single game, there's a premonition, one premonition for the next game.
You didn't see the one in the
I didn't see that one because I was thinking maybe they didn't put it in because it's the finale for season 1.
I think Mark is I think you might have been playing Charlie, but.
Yeah, I don't remember. I never saw it. I just heard about it.
Oh, it was in the farmhouse thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe I did see it and I didn't think of it.
You had to go off the main track.
Oh, I must have not seen it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game, probably the most brutal deaths of any of the anthology games, even the Quarry. The Quarry had brutal deaths in it, but this game is have like, it's ridiculous.
This one, like, a lot of it are things that you probably have thought about as like the worst way of dying depicted.
Okay, we'll talk about it in spoiler section. I was gonna mention something to Caleb the other day because Charlie was gone for you.
Yeah.
But there's specific detail that I don't think you even knew about.
Oh.
I also remembered another detail that kind of proves something we were talking about earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, what were we saying about gruesome deaths?
Oh yeah. No, these are literally like, I mean, it's like, I've never seen the Saw movies, but I think everyone knows what it's about or like what they are about. They're like kind of on par with that. Maybe not as like stupidly gory, but
it's not. Yeah, they shy away from showing like the actual gory parts, but
sometimes
there's that one I sent you both.
Yeah, but they didn't pan the camera to see what was happening.
That
you
is
knew full well
true.
what was happening.
You heard it, and it's
So they don't like fully go all out with gore, which is a good thing. Like they're not like just trying to be shock factor, though it is shocking.
Oh, it is.
But it's the fact that you like these characters and you want them to survive. Even if you didn't like them at the start, you don't want to kill them. Unless you're Chug and to hate the characters.
Well, you didn't try to kill them.
I didn't hate any of the characters.
No, I mean for Little Hope. You killed two of them.
The old lady. I did not like the old lady in Little Hope. I didn't. She was so annoying. But no, I tried to keep all of them alive this game. I didn't do any pausing for these choices. I kind of just played as it is, and I thought about it, but I only had like 10 seconds to think about it. Well, okay.
That's how it's supposed to be played.
That's how I like playing it, because like whatever happens, happens. It just happens.
That's how,
you mentioned to me the other day, you're like, that's why all your characters die, because...
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I enjoy playing it that way.
Yeah. That's technically how it should be played. I pause it before a major decision, and I have to think about it.
When two characters are trapped and you don't know what to do, like, it's actually nerve-wracking. I paused it for that. But, like, when you were watching me briefly last night, I made a couple decisions that I didn't realize were life or death, and you're like, you made a good decision there.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, he would have died if I did the opposite thing?
Yeah.
Like, I just got totally lucky by clicking the right one.
Yep.
Yeah. I might try to play the next one not pausing at all. That'd be a challenge.
Yeah.
That'd be scary.
You have to think like instantly. But that's the thing. Like when I pause it, I'm still anxious, but I'm like trying to weigh the pros and cons of like what I do next. But
next one you guys should play together.
Yeah, if it's not glitched or buggy,
Yeah, this one had a lot of negative reviews, especially because of the bugs that came with playing co-op.
Mainly on PS5. I've seen a lot of negative PS5 feedback.
Well, it was mixed on Steam.
Yeah, but people
because of the bugs
on PS5 were overwhelmingly saying it was not good. But even on Steam, I don't really understand that. The worst bug I had, one of the characters disappeared towards the beginning when they were climbing to the lighthouse. And I looked around, I'm like, oh, where'd he go? And then I climbed up something and a cutscene triggered and he was there again.
What is it? I played it on the Steam Deck, where there's basically no support whatsoever for the Steam Deck, technically. I didn't see a single glitch. Like, every once in a while, the character models would be like a little weird, but I just think that's just how they made the game.
I don't know what people are expecting with polish nowadays.
They want it like immaculate, perfect, like Red Dead, Last of Us 2 type.
Games have never been like that. People were mad about Red Dead's bugs because there were crashes and stuff.
Oh yeah,
we experienced some of that, but every game is going to have issues on launch.
As long as it's not game breaking. You know what I mean? Like you can't play the game, then that really annoys me.
There might have been a few people that said they had game breaking glitches, but mostly it was like characters. I saw one picture where one of the characters was floating in the background and another guy's his head was turned all the way around staring at him.
I heard about the 180 head glitch.
all the
characters in the game would their head would just turn 180 and it would just be the back of their heads.
Wait, I want to see this.
It looks hilarious.
Head glitch. Devil and Me.
Yeah, what was the black guy's name?
Mark.
Yeah, so Mark was floating in the background, and the not counselor. I don't know why I'm saying that. What was his name? Chris.
Who? Charlie.
Charlie. That's what it was. Charlie his head was turned all the way around, and he was staring at Mark floating in the background.
It's funny.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny though.
I don't know. I think people should just write, if they like the game, they should write a positive review and then put a caveat in there saying, listen, there's a lot of bugs right now. Like they're just, they're ignoring all the good parts of the game just so that they could be angry.
Yeah.
Not every game is going to be a God of War release on PC.
Oh, I'm seeing the head glitch one. That's awesome.
If I got that, I would have laughed. I wouldn't have just ranted on the game and how bad it was.
The thing is, before I played the game, I was seeing a bunch of people talk about this, about talking about how their characters are turned 180 degrees, and I'm like, oh no, is there supernatural stuff in this game?
Oh.
But then I was like, oh, it's just a glitch. It's just a glitch happening to people.
That kind of show. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it kind of shows the person's character if they can't laugh at things like that. They'll just be like, oh, what?
It's a
Negative
video
review.
game.
Yeah, literally.
I guess it's immersion breaking, but I mean, who wouldn't laugh at someone's character
that would be funny.
or their head turning around?
As long as it's not game breaking, I don't. It's kind of funny.
those are the type of people you don't want to like hang out with.
Yeah.
Exactly. They get too serious.
Or you don't want to play a co-op game with them.
Oh yeah.
Because they'll be like punch you in the face if you don't do anything exactly what they want you to do.
That's not to say that some people didn't have game-breaking experiences.
Oh yeah.
And I could definitely understand their perspective if they had that, but that wasn't ours at all. The three of us played it, separate devices, and barely any issues, if any at all.
I don't think I had a single one.
Yeah, I never had. Whoa.
I remember
Nick's left out now.
you guys having trouble with the. I mean, you weren't clicking the button, and you fell or something with the balancing.
Oh, so yeah, the first time they showed balancing, I fell, but it didn't do anything because it was a training portion.
Yeah.
Balancing is slightly annoying. Just
I didn't
because
like the balancing.
It was.
There's
I didn't
no
have any issues with it.
feedback when you're doing it.
Usually I was expecting like vibration or whatever to tell me if I'm like falling too much to the right or left. But at first, I wasn't even using the right analog. But
yeah, you fell like 3 times.
I mean, even after I got it, it was still, I didn't like the balancing.
Yeah.
There's another time where you're supposed to hide as a character. So it says press L2. So
No, it says hold L2.
Oh, did it?
I thought it
says
was
hold.
press.
It didn't say hold or press. It just said L2 on the screen. It didn't say
for
hold.
me, it said hold L2.
Oh.
I do remember earlier in the game, there was a hiding sequence and I did hold it.
But we both did it at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't like some of the holding. They've done this in previous games too, where your hand is like hovering above an object and you can pick it up. And so you hold R2 and you can grab it and then you can move it around.
Oh, yeah.
But what happens in this game is, let's say you hold R2 to pull a drawer open, you still have to remain holding R2 to pick the item out of the thing. And sometimes you'd think like, all right, hold R2, open the drawer, and then you hold it, you can let go and hold it again to pick up the paper. It's not the case.
It is a little weird, yeah.
And there's a bunch of times where like my character would slowly just close up the drawer and I'd have to do the thing over
And
again.
it's such a slow animation.
Yeah.
The running was a little weird too.
Yeah,
and moving
it's jogging.
objects.
It's like weird jogging, yeah. Well, no, I actually kind of like the moving objects because basically wherever you were looking, the camera was looking, the item would move.
It was janky, though.
It was kind of stupid.
You
But
can't like shuffle to the right. Like you had to look to the right and then move forward to the right. Like,
yeah.
You
I don't
also
know, it's
move
weird.
massive objects with such ease.
Mm-hmm.
That Mark guy is like
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah, literally.
Like, how did he move that bookcase? That thing probably weighed 1,000
It didn't
pounds.
have wheels, right?
No, it didn't. It was just scraping wood on the concrete floor.
It felt like
strong.
it was like butter. Like
Yeah,
moving
Yeah,
it.
pretty much.
He barely put any effort into it too. He just kind of like casually moved it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, those are very minor complaints, honestly.
The game is about 5 to 6 hours long, I think.
Which I think is a really good length for the anthology.
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Like I like the quarry a lot. Again, it's probably still my favorite, but it was a little long.
Mm-hmm.
I was
too
actually
extensive.
so excited for this game though.
Oh yeah.
Like over time, the series has grown on me. Like the first one, I enjoyed. The second one, I enjoyed more, and the third one, it was good. And so by the time this one rolled around, I was so happy to play it.
Yeah.
Like that little intro with the curator walking down, like that's just like
Oh, yeah. It's
synonymous
like,
yeah.
with the season.
It's iconic.
Like you're
Yeah.
watching. You're like, what is it? You're like watching a new episode that you've been waiting for a week. Which, speaking of episode, we got to watch Andor tonight.
Oh, that's right.
It's a finale.
Yeah.
Finale of Andor, yes.
Um,
But yes.
Yeah, I think you can probably even go back to our previous podcasts and listen to us. Like we were a little unsure about it at first.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But now it's like it's an established thing for us. Like it's almost like when the next one comes out, it's like, oh, we're gonna buy it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a routine for us now.
It's
like,
a
we're
yearly
excited.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just, it goes to show that they've established themselves over the course of a bunch of games.
Which
Yeah.
is why I'm happy that they're doing season 2.
Yeah,
4 more games.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Technically 5.
No, they registered 5 trademarks. One of them was called Oh Death. It said a Dark Pictures, based on Dark Pictures or something like that. The other games didn't say that. So it's just kind of assumed that it's going to be a physical like card game or board game or something.
Oh,
But the other 4 didn't say that. So those are definitely the games.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them is definitely about demons. It has an upside down cross.
That's gonna be scary.
Ooh.
And then there was
There's
the space one.
Directive
confirmed.
8020.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
The space one?
Yes.
I thought it was Oh yeah, 80/20. Yeah, you're right.
Directive 80/20. So it's
And there are 2 other ones that look really cool.
What were the names?
I forget the name.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what would be like another really scary scenario.
Well, the season 2 is going to be more sci-fi, more like supernatural, like just all around not grounded.
Imagine a Cthulhu one.
Oh, that would be scary.
Cool.
I love Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be amazing.
Like they already did an ocean one with scuba diving and stuff, but I feel like they could do it again with even better.
Speaking of ocean game, there's a game called Deepwater. It's not by the same people. It's by another company. I think it's Quantum, not Quantum. What is the what other game did they do? These are the people that are doing Star Wars Eclipse. Quantic Dream.
Huh.
They're doing an underwater submarine game, like a choose your own adventure.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but it looks kind of cool. It's called Deepwater, I think. That looks kind of cool. So like sick too.
Yeah.
Huh.
You guys want to get into spoilers?
Definitely
Yes.
spoilers.
Let's give a quick summary. So like, I think this is my second favorite game from the developers and my absolute favorite game from the Anthology series.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier, super scary, and it's definitely intriguing.
Yeah.
They've learned a lot. Definitely.
Yeah. So we all got different endings. Caleb and I got endings that are pretty similar, but he lost a character that I managed to keep alive, and Chug lost 2 different ones.
I lost 2 characters. Yeah.
I like that there's a separate ending for keeping the dog alive.
I kept the dog alive, but he didn't show up at the end.
You have to save him on the boat.
He got jumped off. No, he wasn't even on the boat.
Wait, what? Where'd he go then?
He just ran away.
You didn't put him on the boat?
No, how do you?
No,
put him
if
on
he
the
goes
boat?
on the boat, you save him.
How does he go on the boat though?
Mark brings him there.
He wasn't on the. He just ran. After I saved him from the killer, he ran.
Huh.
And I never saw him again.
Well, he kind of runs away, but I think eventually you find him. But yeah, Mark leads the dog and gets him on the boat.
Oh,
for
it's
me.
because I threw the rock at him.
At the dog?
Yeah.
What? Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I was like, he's gonna bite me, so I'm gonna throw the rock at him.
So he didn't save you from the killer earlier.
No.
Oh, he did for me.
Earlier? Are you referring to when you were Jamie and Kate?
Yeah. So
He
like,
saved me there. Yeah.
oh, he did.
Mhm.
So why?
Yeah, but
why
I
did
think
you?
because
he
he
didn't
didn't
trust
he
Mark.
threw the rock. You threw the rock at him, so he didn't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
I
I don't know. After I
threw
threw it, I was like, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
Well, I don't know who would choose the option to kill the dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The what is it? The glass?
Yeah, that's awful.
That's
like,
horrible.
So you're in the room as Jamie, and you have the dog with you. The killer's in the living room, and you're in the kitchen, and the dog starts growling, and she grabs a bottle and holds it to its neck, and you have the option to kill it. Like
why
who's
would you
gonna
do
that? Like, and it was so abrupt. I'm sitting there. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna kill the dog with a bottle.
Horrible.
Yeah, but there were lots of kills before that.
The one that you told Kate to go hide instead of helping,
Yeah.
and that was a major decision. It
I didn't
didn't
know
look
that.
like it, but it is, because I had Kate help me with the dog, because I was like, okay, 2 people with the dog, we could probably handle the dog. We could probably shut it up. And so we wouldn't die. But then the dog barks because I didn't kill the dog, because why would you kill the dog? And then dog barks, and the guy walks in and just axes Jamie in the head.
Oh,
And I'm like, and Kate and the dog run away, but
I found that generally the smartest decision is to hide when you have the option.
yeah.
Running is almost never a good option in these games because like they'll see you and just chase you and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And unless it's a certain scenario, like I saw you run a couple times
Yeah.
where I actually hid and it ended up in the same decision.
What, the barn one?
No, you're on the roof
Oh.
and the killer was, you were in the storage unit or whatever that was on the roof.
Yeah.
And you went out of it and you could have hid again, but you chose run.
I did. I ran too.
Yeah.
Same outcome.
The general thing that I've learned is that if you run, you're most likely going to get quick time events, and if you hide, you're going to get the heartbeat thing. But generally, you're going to get like a similar outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certain times like you should fight and you should not fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the first time you basically meet the killer face to face.
Oh my
the
gosh.
first decision.
With Aaron,
yeah.
I had that pause for like 10 minutes discussing what to do.
You either attack him or take the inhaler from him because Aaron has asthma, and she was in a dark room with a bunch of dust and she could barely breathe, and she was basically having an anxiety attack pretty much.
Yeah, that's what we said about remember the character's background and important things about them. So she has asthma. So you can generally assume that anything involving breathing, she's going to be weak at, and you want to get that inhaler as much as possible. So when she's like dying from an asthma attack in this room, the killer walks in, hands her the inhaler, and you have the option to take it or attack him. First of all, why is he giving you this inhaler right now? There's like no good reason for it other than just to mess with you.
That's the scary part.
There's no run option. So you have to run up to this dude either way.
Yeah.
So you could either try to attack him, but you're this little scrawny like Indian girl. You're not going to take out this ginormous guy.
Yeah. And that's the scary thing though, is like I think that's the first big decision in the game, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like the killer is sitting there holding out the inhaler, and it's like terrifying. I don't know what to do. Like am I going to get a character killed? Apparently if you attack him, you do get killed. Like,
he just straight up stabs her in the neck.
He gets mad and just kills you. But before that, his purpose was just to toy with you and scare you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
you made the good decision there. We all did.
Yeah. Well,
so
what is it? Later on with Charlie.
Yeah. So, okay. So just to recap. So Jay managed to keep everyone alive. I killed Charlie, one person, and then Chug killed Jamie and Aaron, two people. You still got a good ending, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was just missing Jamie and Aaron.
Yeah. So mine was a good ending, but just it was missing Charlie. So unfortunately, I killed Charlie because he was in the incinerator room, and so you had the option to try to open these grates on the bottom of the floor, and apparently you can hide in them. I mean, you can if you choose the right thing. The other thing was that there was the door that was closed on you. I tried for the door. And then it gave me an option to go for the grate again or the door, and I tried the grate, and it was too late, and I burned alive.
You need to double down on whatever decision you choose, although the only one that works is the grate.
You can double down on the door, but you're dead.
So the correct option is to do grate and then do grate again, which I don't know. The reason I wrote off the grate, the reason I didn't choose the grate is because he earlier in a cutscene, he tried the grate and it didn't budge. So my thought process was it's just not going to work.
I think I honestly got lucky there because there was nothing really showing you that it was the grate. Because my whole thought process was this door is massive. It's metal. He's not going to get through it. There's no way.
There were two premonitions that I got that gave me insight on it. So one of them was him underneath the grate screaming. And another one was him at the door reaching his hand out trying to grab the handle. But screaming, but he was super burnt. So I was like, yeah, if I go for the door, he's literally going to straight up die. If the grate is the only good option because he can get underneath the floor and at least maybe he'll be burned, but he won't die.
Man,
so
I didn't see that.
I didn't see those either.
That's why I went for the grate.
But that whole sequence was one of the best examples of tension building and foreshadowing in like the whole series. So like he drops down, I forget how. Oh, he dropped down the trapdoor, and he's locked in a room, and there's a key on a wall. So he goes to pick up the key, and this little lighter burns his finger, already kind of foreshadowing it. So you go along, you find a bunch of incinerators everywhere, probably for bodies, most likely. And then later on, you see a charred doll on the ground. And so like by that point, I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a fire trap coming up. And then I saw the room, and I was like, I have no options. I can't go anywhere else but this fire trap.
The other thing that's kind of genius, both on the serial killer and the way they kind of developed this whole thing, is to add to that, previously, so Charlie is a smoker, and he didn't have his pack of cigarettes, and there was a sequence where there was one pack of cigarettes that were like locked in this, what do you call it?
Kind of like a...
What are those machines? Vending machine.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it, so he's flipping out, and he's like super mean and rude. And so that's the way the killer kind of kills him, is like the charred doll has like a lighter, and there's gas flowing through the room. So it's like
he knew that would be a weakness.
So that's one example. And the other example is with Aaron, the whole asthma thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, right. So she has trouble breathing. So all the scenarios where she could die, I believe, are like asthma related. Because like there's
She's in the
that
dusty room
yeah.
where it's claustrophobic and she can't breathe.
So she's not thinking straight. So like, and then there's the other one where her and Kate are trapped in 2 separate rooms. Slowly, it's like a pressure room. So slowly the oxygen is getting sucked out of each of the rooms, and you have one single lever that you can pull either to Kate's side or to Aaron's side, or whoever you pull that lever to, it'll suck all the air out of. So I chose to suck out of the air of Kate's room because I knew that Aaron had trouble breathing already. So I figured that Kate would have more time or whatever.
Okay, here's my thought on that. The reason I chose Aaron was I knew she did have asthma, but she had her inhaler.
I had that thought.
I was
too.
like,
yeah, but that's
like,
not how inhalers work.
I know
You've
it's
used them
not,
before.
but yes, I know. I don't know.
They don't give you oxygen.
I had 10 seconds to think about this.
Yeah.
He didn't pause it. We did.
And
Or I did.
I was like, oh, inhaler. She could just use the inhaler to survive for a little bit longer, maybe. And then, boom, I did it.
Yeah, and I also paused it, and that was my thinking was it Aaron?
Aaron, yeah.
She has the weak lungs with the asthma. She would probably be the least likely to survive this if I took her oxygen away. So I'm just gonna take Kate's away. I didn't know they could both survive, but I did assume that there was a way out for one of them. It wasn't obvious at all. Like you didn't find out until after you made a decision.
So what's the thing with Charlie that I missed out on because I killed him?
Oh, the ending?
What?
The very end?
No. No.
One thing I wanted to mention real fast. Okay. Since he was a smoker, the very end of the game, the trucker that saves him offers him cigarettes, and he says, no thanks, I'm actually going to quit.
Oh.
So, like, he's actually learning.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of that resolving or whatever. All the characters kind of like grew in a way.
But the main thing that I wanted to tell you about yesterday, I didn't want to say it because I don't know if it would have counted as a spoiler or anything. But you know the first trap where you're on the pressure plate and you basically kill the groundskeeper?
Yeah.
That was a dummy.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that.
You did?
Yeah.
You see it on a video camera when you're in the director's suite room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't an actual person, so he was just toying with you the whole time.
That's another one of the really messed up starting like decisions that you have to make is you're playing as Charlie and you step on a pressure plate and then this big scythe is like aiming at the groundskeeper's
chest.
Yeah, and so if you step off of it, the thing just stabs him. But if you stay on it, the serial killer's on the other side of the gated wall or whatever, and he has a knife like coming towards you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm literally gonna kill this guy. Like there's.
Well, we were saying last night, we would make decisions in this game a whole lot different than in real life. In real life, you would jump off that thing so fast.
There's no way I would stay in there.
But trying to think logically, like, why would he be doing this? Like, he could easily kill you other ways. Why would he kill you like this?
Yeah.
So that's why I stayed, and he just ends up cutting your nose, and you step off anyway.
I jumped off because I'm like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
He's just there. It's like, if it was like Jamie or somebody that we knew, yeah, he would stay there.
That would be a much harder decision.
Oh, yeah.
But if we don't know the person, we only saw him walking around the kind of the ground for a while, but it's weird.
Something I realized when you're talking earlier is more proof that the serial killer is the detective. He had the serial killer's body in his house, and he had the whole setup, like the interrogation room, with the tapes from that murder.
See, I know. Okay, so that's my original theory is yes, that is Agent Monday. He had a terrible childhood because I don't know if you were like you read the notes and stuff. His mom was basically abusive because there was a letter upstairs in the lighthouse, or maybe it was the home, where her husband left her.
So the old lady was his mom.
Yeah, he killed her.
Yeah,
but the letter was from his mom to his dad saying, "Hey, please come home. You have a son." He never came home, and she was abusive to him. So he turned into an agent, an FBI agent, and then that serial killer what was the shoe shine killer?
He became the shoe shine killer.
No, but the killer before him was the Kansas.
Oh, the
terror,
Beast?
Kansas Beast.
Yeah.
Arkansas Beast.
Yeah. He kind of triggered it for him. He knew that he was messed up, and he kind of transferred. Well, he basically turned him into a serial killer.
Well, this goes back to what happens in the beginning, which is, I'm pretty sure, a true statement from H.H. Holmes. When he was on trial, he said, "I have the devil in me," which is where they got the name of the game, and that he's going to come back and kill someday. So you better bury me in concrete because I'm coming back.
They actually did bury him in concrete.
They did, yeah, which is crazy. But then, since the game is probably going for something supernatural, the killer is most likely a reincarnation of this guy.
And at the end of the game, the curator's looking at a list. He has the previous names of the other killers. Like one of them is Monday.
What is it?
Or he has the names of a bunch of killers. I think it's the sequence of like the reincarnation, because the last one is Dumet and he doesn't have it crossed off and he rips the paper.
I don't think it's incarnation. I think it's
Reincarnation.
No, not reincarnation.
I thought it was actual possession. That was my theory.
It could have been possession. I just think it's like they're taking, what is the word?
Inspiration?
Inspiration.
Yeah, but the other thing is the character model for the killer in this one is the same character model they used for H.H. Holmes in the start of the game. That's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of a little nod to it.
It's a coincidence, but
it's not a coincidence.
I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's actually like, because in the beginning of the game, in the documentary, whatever, the guy that's playing the actor in that,
he's different.
Yeah, it's different, but he says he's going to come back and kill. He actually did say that, or he said, "You better bury in concrete because I'm going to come back and kill again." He said that in real life, but
they showed that on purpose.
Yeah, I think that's like I think they're trying to give the nod of like, okay, these killers are being like quote unquote possessed, or he's being reincarnated because they killed somewhat the same way. Like he built the hotel with all the traps.
He knew what to do.
I thought that there was some sort of demonic spirit that was giving them supernatural abilities and intelligence to be able to create these and also to survive insane things that would have killed a normal person.
It's like a passing the torch.
Yeah.
The Beast Killer passed the torch to Monday because he was a broken individual that was like easily susceptible to becoming a murderer. Then, yes, well, my one disconnect is Monday could be Dumet, but Dumet could also be a totally different character that Monday passed the torch to. You know what I'm saying?
And at the very end of the game, at least in my ending, all the characters were in the boat trying to escape. You grab an anchor and stab it into the guy's back, and it gets caught in the propeller, and he gets sucked into the propeller. You just see blood. You don't see anything else, so you don't know like what happened. And there's also another ending where he blows up in the boat. But the very last sequence of the game, you see a mask on the shore, and a white glove picks it up.
I think it's another person.
It very well could be.
I think it's a separate person, but what you were saying with the possession or whatever, that was the person they passed the torch to.
That's what I'm thinking.
He was like almost ready to take up the mantle when that one died.
In a way. It's basically
so it's the same MO.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it's like H.H. Holmes being reincarnated or passing his torch throughout the generations.
And that's a really cool theory there. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like it's grounded because that could actually happen, like you being hunted by a serial killer, but it also has that like little bit of a like intriguing supernatural aspect to it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even after playing the game, like I've even watched videos on other serial killers now. Like it's weird, but like you kind of get intrigued by like people like that.
And what was cool is like it shows that there's another murder house or hotel or whatever it was. So I don't think Dumet was building that at the same time.
Which one?
The new one, the new group of 5.
Yeah.
They get sent to. It looked like a 3-floor house or a smaller place.
It looked very similar though.
It looks similar to the original.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a huge hotel as far as I could see.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was building that at the same time. And it didn't look like there was a time jump either.
That's why the separate person.
It's a different person that was ready to take the mantle or something. That's crazy.
Really cool though.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most solid one. The only thing I'm kind of curious about is if it was actually Monday, or because he would have had to survive the fire that audio recording was. The other option, it's either Monday and he created a new identity, or it's Dumet and he took the mantle from Monday.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people in the reviews, I did see a lot of reviews would be like, this game is unfinished. It just the character models are horrible. The story just was not good. Blah 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 blah. Whatever.
I don't know.
It's like I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is very strange. This is probably the best one in the anthology series.
Oh yeah,
we had
so
the least
good.
amount of issues with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think when we played co-op, we had bugs with House of Ashes.
There were a lot of bugs. Yeah.
No, we didn't play House co-op.
No, we played
you and I were gonna play House Co-op, but they didn't have the friend pass until a month after the game released.
Yeah, we wanted to do
which kind of
sucks,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is that gonna be it for this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
We covered the theories.
yeah, I think next week. Oh, we have a few options for next week. Not
There's
sure exactly what we're
Somerville.
gonna do. Yeah,
Mhm.
that one I really want to start playing. Like,
That's
ASAP.
the similar thing I'm seeing is people are either comparing it to Limbo and Inside too much, or they're like it's too buggy. And so I don't really know what to expect. I'm not really gonna have expectations until I play it.
There's always, I mean, Goat Simulator's out, the new one.
I'd rather play
It's
Somerville.
on Epic.
I want to play it so bad, but it's on Epic.
Yeah,
That ruins it for me because I want to play it on the Steam Deck.
that is true.
If we get Somerville on Steam, we can all play in Steam Deck,
Yeah, that is
and
true.
I can play it when I'm in
And
Pennsylvania.
it's probably shorter, so
Yeah, I'm planning on playing it this weekend, like during the long weekend.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that'd be a great next podcast.
Yeah,
But yeah, this game is amazing. I loved it.
I enjoyed it more than any other
I'm
Dark
so
Pictures
excited
game.
for season 2.
Yeah,
I know some of the crazy stuff, space, demons, and whatever else they had in there.
Yeah.
I love it. But all right, I think that'll be it for this episode, and we will see you in the next podcast.